In chapter 1065, Lilith mentioned an important thing where she said that if only there was such a thing as an eternal flame, we would be able to make a sun. Okay, so that's a tough one, and that's a hell of a thing. So we all been wondering about the robot and the energy. So the most important thing, let's say, about the energy and the way you can make everything you want to in the technology, you need a flames. Okay, you need a good amount of flames. So how in the void century they were able to make such a robot? If we can say like they made like 2 or 3 robots or even more. Okay, so here I am telling you about the truth of how they were able to make this robot with such a huge amount of energy and flames. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, we've seen in chapter 1066 Vegapunk told Dragon that you don't have enough resources, so I cannot work with you. Okay, so I mean, it does make sense now. Any scientist, of course, need a huge amount of resources to make, whether it's his research or his inventions or blah blah blah. Okay, so of course they need a huge amount of resources. So how in the void century or before 900 years, how were they able to make this robot? If we can say that they had like a limited resources or a limited flames or a limited energy. Okay, so starting from now, we know that there was like a group amount of like geniuses or like scientists, and it was called the Mads. Okay, so the Mads, I guess they were like working to find enough like flames or to find enough energy to do their things. Okay, I mean, we know that Caesar is a clown. He's a clown and he just wants his own path. So when we look back with Judgy and the Vinsmoke family, we saw that he was trying to make these bodies like the robot bodies, or we can call it like a cyborgs, but they were like working with Judgy and they were like paying his commands, were like protecting him and dying for him, and they were like robots. Okay, but the thing is, the Mads failed to find enough energy to do their stuff. Okay, so they were like they didn't have enough energy to do like such a big robot or like these stuff. Until then, Vegapunk tried to do it in the Egghead Island in these couple of years. So he tried to do like what Lilith said when he made the Vega Force, the giant robot guy, and he said, even though I did it like it was like perfectly, but it was missing something. This energy on the robot, it can like turn the whole physics in our world upside down. Okay, so there was a special energy they were using back then in the void century where we still know nothing about it. Okay, so the thing is, that important thing they were using back then to make this tremendous energy to do like these robots, or to make these robots, or to make even like a lot of stuff, whether we can say if it's like related to the poneglyph, whether it's related to anything back then with the void century or with the ancient kingdom, with the civilized kingdom back then. When we say like they were like much civilized than like the other kingdoms and stuff, so the energy they were relying on, it was because back then 900 years ago, one of the scientists was one of the Lunarian race, and that's why he had a tremendous energy and he had a tremendous flames, and we can call it an eternal flame because the Lunarian race can use like a huge amount of like flames and it still would not affect them negatively. Okay, so that's why back then in the void century they were able to make a huge amount of like robots or something without even like hesitating about like we will lose such flames, or we don't have enough energy, or like these type of stuff. Okay, so because in our time, when Vegapunk tries to use a lot of resources, it will like burn through a lot. Okay, so we cannot use a lot of resources because it will like burn them. Okay, and we don't have enough flames, or we don't have, remember guys, the uncle of Natsu in Fairy Tail, I guess his name was Atlas, right? He had an internal flame, and that's exactly what Vegapunk needs right now. Okay, because with the eternal flame, he said we can like make a sun. Okay, so you can make a sun if you had like enough resources, or let's say an eternal flame. Okay, so back then there was a scientist, there was a genius scientist working with the ancient kingdom, and he was from the Lunaria race. So that's why they had an eternal flame, because they were able to use his flames, or he was able to use his flames to make anything he wanted to. Okay, so whether it's robots, whether it's like any cyborgs, whether it's like rockets, whether it's like anything he wanted to make, whether it's like weapons, blah blah blah. Okay, so that's why he was able to make anything, because he had like an unlimited resources back then. Alright, so that's what I have, and I hope you liked it, guys. I mean, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I came up with it, so I guess it's gonna be like crazy if this happens. I mean, I know the Lunarian race were like in the Meridua, or like at the top of the red line, but we can say like one of them. I mean, the Flamingos now, or he was in Dressrosa, and his father came down from the Meridua, so there we can say there's exceptions. Okay, so I guess this scientist was one of them. He was one of the exceptions, and he came down of red line, and blah blah blah, the story continues. So that's it, I guess. That's what I came up with. I hope you like it, guys. I mean, I don't know if you agree with me or not. Write down in the comment section down below, and I guess that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and share this video to your friends and family and everybody on this planet. Thank you, guys. Until next time, see ya.